Third and final pool for this article. I call them articles. I guess video. I should call them videos. I just automatically call them articles. But last two pools a little bit interesting, but I think straightforward enough, and a lot of people would have found the same kind of colors or the same kind of little mistakes I made. This one was a bit more interesting. I'm going to go through the colors. I'm going to show you what I end up playing, and spoilers, I made a bit of a mistake. I think I should have played something else. So let's go. First, white. Again, I'm not a fan of commission, but it is playable in certain decks. Same with Lumisaur, so I just want to get it out there and only remove complete unplayables, get an idea what each color offers. White is shallow, like a real shallow. Hammer Skull and Indiction are like the cards pulling me towards it. I'm a fan of Paladin of the Bloodstained, and it's not hard to get 2-for-1s out of this card. But I hope I don't end up in white anyway. Opt. Triple Looter. Looter's is absolutely fine. So blue looks very much like a support color, I think here. Some evasion, not that much though. An okay counter spell because it gives us 5 pirates, 6 pirates to go with it. Decent curve if I'm looking for a couple more 2-drops. Again, not offering too much. Let's get to this. Double Skullduggery. I like that. Wanted Scoundrels. I'm a fan of Dead Eye Tormentor, but I think I'm picking it way too hard. High even. Good removal. Double Mark. Very good removal. And a Heartless Pillage. So, only Spreading Rot as an unplayable. Looks like we have excellent removal. Double Skullduggery, Double Vanquish, Vraska's Contempt, Dark Nourishment. So we have this conditional removal, and then we have this nice big piece of hard removal. In the middle, probably the best removal spell in the set. Curve-wise, really bad. Minimum amount of creatures. It's not like we've gained more evasion for the vampires or anything. I'm unsure about Ravager. It seems fine. 5 mana, 4/4/4 Menace, Death Touch. Sometimes big upside, sometimes big downside though. So unsure about him. And Bishop of the Bloodstained, not something I'm a fan of in Sealed, and I think you need a lot of things going right before you play it. We have Drowned Catacombs as well for splashing purposes. Triple Firebrand. Red looks like it might be okay. Kind of feels a little bit missing. I'm never sure put this in the playable pile, but again, I think it's just such a narrow deck. We got a piece of removal, some decent 5-drops, but only decent. Again, nothing really pulling me here. A bit like blue, it might be a support color. Depends what we end up doing. 11 creatures in this one, so it might fit well with black. And here, some nice 2-drops. Dryad is fine and sealed, so let's crash, canopy. Not so much. So this card is decent, but it's not a finisher, which is odd because it costs 7 mana. But sometimes you can still cut people out of the game because a lot of these games come down to like racing situations, and when they do, Sun's Avatar is just going to end it. And double seems interesting for sure. So let's start with black. I think black probably looks best. See what we can pair with this. Let's go red. If we're going red, we don't need this guy. Couple more 5-drops. I really like the idea of the Rummaging Goblin in this deck with so much kind of removal and trading. I think the Rummaging Goblin looks decent. The problem I have with this deck, and the problem I see with a couple of combinations before I even go for them, is one of the big attractions is Mark of the Vampire here, and none of these cards hold Mark well. Like this does in a sense, but none of them really have evasion or well statted enough that they just become monstrous. Like this and this hold mark in their turn 5 plays. That doesn't seem amazing. Okay, I'm not liking red-black, and that doesn't bode well for red, as I think black is our best color. Let's see what white. See some vampire synergies maybe. Though I still don't think the vampire 5-drop is where I want to be at. Maybe with double. Maybe with double that. Curve is bad. We have some random vampire synergies that don't really work out. I don't like this at all. I don't think this adds enough in the slightest. So let's look at blue. A few blue cards we could play here. So I'm not sure we need this guy. 2-drop slot looks a lot better with that addition. Curve looking a lot better. And this guy holds the mark a little bit better, not like great. Gilded Sentinel might also actually be welcome here just to fill in the curve a little bit. Bishop of Bloodstain certainly isn't. The rest of these 5s look fine. And then maybe Depths of Desire. We have a lot of removal. So I don't know if we need a Depths really. Yeah, let's get Depths of Desire out here. Blue-black actually looks good. As I said, blue is a bit of a support color. And I think it supports black well. It fills in its curve a little bit better. As I've said in the first one, blue-black doesn't end up with that many mana sinks, so we got 1 this time. So opt over 17th land is something that's decent. We could also consider playing the Schooner here, but we're only 13 creatures. I don't know. Though I don't know if I can play both these Mark of the Vampires. This deck has a couple flyers, so you're going to hold Mark of the Vampire a little bit better. But I still don't know if I want it that much. So I think it might be correct to start out with just Skittering Heartstopper in the main. Yeah, up the creature count by a little bit. Heartstopper works well with the Aerialist. It's another grinding removal spell. So I think this is what I'd play. Be happy enough with it if I went into blue. Now let's look at our last option with black. And Double Sun's Avatar deck. How many do we have for this? Just 1? Yeah, I probably don't want it with just 1. I don't know if our Heartstopper deck either, but the rest of this looks pretty playable. And so the idea of this is we have a decent amount of removal in our deck and some decent blockers early on. We have some ways to attack the hand that we just like getting these guys out and finishing the game. This, if I remember correctly, is pretty much the deck I played. Now you can see it's actually a friendly league, and I went 1-2. I still have other games to play. I went 1-2 and it prompted me to add a pack, so I stopped. I'm like, oh crap, I went into a friendly league by mistake. I went 1-2 with this build and I don't think it's actually good. Because again, I mentioned it in the second video, we don't actually have a great plan. Our plan again is kill some guys, play some guys, hope it's good enough. But with these, it's just not good enough. So we're kind of trying to stall the board and make some trades until we hit the Sun's Avatars. But the Sun's Avatars, while being fine cards and sealed most of the time, aren't really great finishers. They're only 5/5s. They were easily traded with by anything my opponent had left on the board. Then we're both going into top deck mode and you can just flood out that way. The Colossal Dreadmaw ended up being better than the Sun's Avatar. It came down a turn earlier and did more damage. Was easier to save with combat tricks and stuff. So I don't actually like this deck. And if you take out the Sun's Avatars, if you're like, oh, Sun's Avatar is only medium, green offers very little else besides some curve filler and generic creatures. So that's the deck I went with. And again, we're going to have a look at the deck I should have went with, which I think is blue. Yeah, blue does something a little similar to the green deck where it's just filling the curve, but I think it fills the curve a bit better and it gives the deck a little bit more of a purpose. You've got evasion creatures now. You've got a nice anti-flood mechanic where you get to play. What card did I leave out? Oh, I left out the 24th card. Was it Mark? No, it was Heartstopper. Well, it's between those two. It gives the deck a little bit more purpose. Opt lets you, hopefully not get flooded as much. We do have a mana sink in this build if we do get flooded. I think both of them are a little bit anemic, where they're just dudes in removal. But this one's a bit better, and you get a couple of evasion creatures. Not that many, otherwise I'd run both the marks. But you get a couple of evasion creatures to go along with the marks, which again gives you another line of attack. And this gives you a little bit more quote-unquote removal in the counterspell, which I like. Stop some zany bombs, and this is the only card in the pool that can kind of take over the game by itself. So green has nothing that compares to that. These cards are nice and they can get you on a roll, but life doesn't always win you a game. It can win you a race, but not always the games. Where this left unchecked is just going to become gigantic. So we definitely misbuilt this pool, and we're 1-2 because of it. I wish I could have shown you a better record over all these sealed, but I haven't done that well this evening. And I hope I helped your thought process a little bit for the sealed format and didn't just ramble on a bit too much. If you have any questions, please do ask. I'm on Twitter at DaveC89, that's SEA. And I hope to see any of you over at Liverpool. Don't feel afraid to come up, say hi, tell me how your day is going. Always love to hear that. Until next time, thanks for watching the videos.